Amber Frey became the reluctant hero in the Scott Peterson case, agreeing to make recordings of her conversations with him that helped prosecutors convict him. One blind date completely changed her life. She didn't sign up for any of this, but she did the right thing. Joining me now, Amber Frey's attorney, Gloria Allred. She also represents Peterson's sister, Ann Bird, who believes her brother is guilty in this case. Gloria, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. First of all, what is Amber Frey doing these days?
Thank you for inviting me, Dan.
What is she doing these days?
Well, she's just living her life. She has her 2 children, and she cares very much about them. She cares about her church, and she's just the same Amber Frey these days that she was during the trial, a person who has character, who has integrity, and who is committed to doing the right thing.
Would she testify again if there was a new trial?
Dan, she has said that the truth is the truth, and if they ask her and need her to testify, that's exactly what she will do, if there's a new trial, of course.
Right, and look, we all agree that's a long shot, but I think it's important to know that. What do you make of this effort? I've been very critical of the LA Innocence Project for taking this case. What do you make of this effort? What do you make of the judge's ruling to allow for retesting of this piece of duct tape?
Apparently, only one retest out of the many that the LA Innocence Project has requested. I think that if a person is factually innocent or could prove that he or she is factually innocent, they should have an opportunity to have a test. It's just as simple as that. I think there was really a mountain of evidence to prove that Scott Peterson was guilty of the murder of Laci Peterson and the unborn child, of both of them. And that, of course, was affirmed by the California Supreme Court. Only the death penalty for him was set aside. Having said that, if there's evidence that has not been tested that may be relevant, that may have probative value in a new trial, I don't have any problem with the court allowing a test or even a retest for DNA evidence.
But doesn't it set a standard that anyone can then demand new testing based on new capabilities, even if all the other evidence is completely overwhelming?
You do have a point, Dan. On the other hand, the argument of the LA Innocence Project is that some of the evidence that may be relevant was either not tested or it was suppressed, in other words, not supplied in discovery to Scott Peterson, and that it might be exculpatory. And so that's their argument. It's a very long shot, as you point out, but I don't see any harm in the retesting. That doesn't necessarily, by the way, of course, as you know, get him a new trial.
Right.
But it's one way to approach it.
I guess I'm angrier at the LA Innocence Project than you are. I think they've taken on a case where there is no real shot of showing actual innocence because you'd have to actually ignore all of the evidence that was presented at trial. But you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and, I appreciate that. Gloria Allred.
Yeah, and I mean, as you know, I think he was rightfully convicted. On the other hand, everybody's entitled to due process, and maybe this is a form of due process for him.
Gloria, good to see you again. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
You too, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.